Hello. This is ELB. Let's get back to work. So last time we got some test stats. Very much test stats. Hold on, I just realized my controller wasn't even plugged in. Should probably plug in my lightning bolt, thunderbolt cable. I don't ever know what it is. I don't really care that much either. The only reason I have an Apple phone is because it was purchased for me. And Jesus, that was loud. Hold on. Anyhow, can we move? We can move. We're officially better than board games. Okay. Pick up an item. Check this. We can see it does 20 damage, requires a strength of 5, requires a dex of 10, requires a skill of 6. So at this point I think our goal is to expand upon this concept. Maybe figure out exactly what the stats are going to be properly. So, I do have several things in mind when it comes to those stats. Anyhow. So, wrong thing. So hopefully this is going to make sense. Basically my goal here is to outline how I'm wanting weapons to work. Because it's definitely not going to be very straightforward. And it's going to depend a lot upon the attack that you're doing, as well as the weapon itself. And, like, let's say that you are using a spear and a scimitar, okay? Will the game have scimitars? I have no idea. I hope you know what a scimitar is. Anyone who played RuneScape back in the day should know what a scimitar is. This is a scimitar, right? It's a curved sword that has this sort of point. Actually, it's really not the best example now that I'm looking at it again. Here. Let's say the difference between a spear and a poleaxe. Here's a poleaxe. You probably know what a spear looks like. Or at least here's a type of poleaxe. Not all poleaxes looked like this. Some poleaxes look like this. Some poleaxes looked like this. Anyway, stupid joke aside. So let's say, okay, so here, let's actually explain this. So let's say that there's two different weapons. Both can stab, but one is better at stabbing. Now, like I said, this might be a type of axe that can technically stab, but it doesn't really work that well because it's just not really meant for it, right? So, then comparing that up to a spear, which stabbing is pretty much what they do, right? That's what they're made for. I mean, you can block with one by turning it sideways, and you can probably wield it like a bow staff if necessary, at least a bit. But it's a stabbing weapon, right? So now let's say they both have a really basic stab move, this axe and this spear. Now, from like a movement point of view, it'll probably look the same, right? Assuming this is a pole axe still. You know, it's both hands on it and a push forward. But because the spear is built for stabbing, it's going to have a lot higher of a natural stabbing damage. Whereas the axe will not. So even though they're doing the same move, because the weapon has a lower or higher stabbing damage, it'll do more or less damage. Now, we could then say that weapons have 3 different damage types. They have piercing, aka that wonderful stab, slashing, or slicing, I'll say. So, you know, if you have a katana and you're, you know, cutting into someone's gut, that's a slice. Bludgeoning, because, you know, you're taking a hammer and you're smashing someone on the head, or you're maybe taking you're maybe doing a pommel strike with your greatsword, who knows. I did say 3, didn't I? So what am I missing? I would say that the one that's not usually in games like these would be chopping. So we're going to go up to 4. Piercing, slicing, bludgeoning, and chopping. Now, some weapons can do most, if not all of these. Like, a sword is an insanely versatile weapon. You can stab with it, you can do a slice with it, normally. You can do a pommel strike to do bludgeoning damage, or, you know, turn the sword around and strike with the handle. Why am I forgetting what it's called? Trying to find a picture of it. Sword handle strike, maybe? And sword strike is some mecha anime thing, it looks like. Hold on a moment. Here we go. Look at this guy. So, this guy, he's clearly holding his sword in a way where both of his hands are on the blade, and he's gonna swing it so this comes out and smashes like this. There, we got bludgeoning damage. And of course, you can swing a sword to chop. In fact, I'm pretty sure that in most modern media, whenever someone is using a sword, all they're using it for is either stabbing or piercing or chopping. Unless they're using a katana, they're not really going to be doing a slice much. All they're trying to do is chop, because modern media doesn't know how to use a sword. 90% of the time. I can't really think of anything that... Well, there's that one RPG. I don't remember what it's called. I know it's set in Bohemia. It's historical fiction. It's a historical fiction RPG where you play a dude who's literally using like real sword techniques and stuff like that. I remember at least in The Witcher 2, once or twice, Geralt switched the sword around so he was striking with the handle. Can't really remember many other things. So, we have these damage types, okay? And then we have all these things that you might cause. Like, I'm pretty sure 90% of the time slice damage is going to cause bleed. Same with piercing and chopping, especially chopping, actually. Let's see, so we're looking for... So we have those damage types. Then we would have... How do we want to do stats exactly? 'Cause we could say that we could kind of just do it the way Dark Souls does if we wanted. Oh, what? Oh, apparently there's a boss rush mod for Dark Souls now. Anyway, what am I looking for? Dark Souls weapon scaling. There we go. Parameter bonus. So you know, we got S, A, B, C, D. I'm not even sure what I'm looking at here. Here we go. So yeah, we could do something like that, or simply we scale off of one of those. How the heck do I want to do this, though? So, the thing about it is, I don't really like the idea of having levels be everything. Like, leveling is fun in video games. It's fun to say, I have spent this much time doing this activity, so now I'm going to gift myself a few more points of damage so I can do everything just slightly easier. Or I am going to be able to do stuff slightly easier because I've killed enough stuff. But that doesn't really account for games where leveling is the be-all end-all. Like in SGDQ, I at least partially watched them run Ys Origin. And in Ys Origin, it was described where, like, in SGDQ, I at least partially watched them run Ys Origin. And in Ys Origin, it was described where, like, in SGDQ, I at least partially watched them run Ys Origin. And in Ys Origin, it was described where, like, in SGDQ, I at least partially watched them run Ys Origin. And in Ys Origin, it was described where, like, in SGDQ, I at least partially watched them run Ys Origin. And in Ys Origin, it was described where, like, in SGDQ, I at least partially watched them run Ys Origin. And in Ys Origin, it was described where, like, in SGDQ, I at least partially watched them run Ys Origin. And in Ys Origin, it was described where, like, in SGDQ, I at least partially watched them run Ys Origin. And in Ys Origin, it was described where, like, in SGDQ, I at least partially watched them run Ys Origin. And in 1 or 2 levels could be the difference between 5 minutes on a boss and 30 minutes on a boss, and I hate that idea. I prefer, like, obviously I love Dark Souls. I prefer when games make leveling an option as opposed to a liability. Or, you know, frosting on the cake as opposed to the entire cake. You know, it's supposed to be something that's helpful, but not that necessary. At least that's how I feel. And not a lot of games do it very well. I mean, I love The Witcher 3, but my goodness, that so much stuff. Like, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad in that game, but they had the level numbers where they're like, you want to be this level to take on this quest, and for the most part, it was correct. So what do we do then? Well, we could have this idea of this. Min and max damage. Okay, now stat scaling effects. Min and max damage. No, so what I was thinking was essentially depending on the quality of the weapon as well as just the scaling would go from one to the other, but the problem then would be that any weapon that scales off of more than one stat would then start off stronger, at least assuming the scaling was the same, roughly. I'm not explaining this very well at all. So you know what I'd say? I think that makes sense. You'd need strength to bludgeon and chop. You'd need dex to pierce and slice. And then there could be something like Like, they'd all scale off of skill depending on the weapon. Like, a really complicated weapon might scale higher off of skill than something simple like... I don't know, I don't even know what a simple weapon is. What is a simple weapon? I mean, I guess swords are relatively simple, especially compared to something like nunchucks or, I don't know, maybe a sai. Anyhow. Then let's talk... So, this is a little bit more... interesting, I think. Or has the potential to be a bit more interesting, depending on how I really want to do this. So, as far as I remember, in the first Dark Souls game, nothing scaled off of... or none of the elements scaled off of a stat. Like... But then in the second game and the third game, like, lightning was based off of... what was it called? Faith. Magic was based off of... or sorcery... No, it was magic damage. Magic damage was based off of intelligence. Fire was based off of... both, actually, I think. So... but what type of elements do I want to do? I could go off of classic ones, like fire, water, earth, and air. I could also do more of a Final Fantasy thing, fire, ice, lightning. But if I were to do that, I think I would want to also have dark and light. I'm not sure if Final Fantasy ever does it, but I know Phantasy Star Online does it. And to be honest, at that point, it would just be me going, "Hey, I want to be like Phantasy Star Online, or Phantasy Star in general." I'm not sure if all of them do it. Phantasy Star Online's like the only one I really played. In general, I prefer that it not be totally convoluted. I like when games do a simple, you know, weak or strong against whatever, high defense, low defense against the damage type, whether that be literally these or an element. So let's go here. Let's start with basic. Yeah, let's do these three, but what could I add on to that? That would make sense. Let's just go with those. But what would they scale off of, if anything? For now, let's say nothing, I guess. Hmm. To be honest, I think this is all we need. Certain armor would have better defenses against piercing, slicing, bludgeoning, and chopping. Yeah. Okay. So, what I'd like to do now... What would I like to do now? Thinking through all these problems is rather interesting. I know what I'll do. And do that. Come on, argument 0 equals argument 4. Okay. So let's see, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one was it? One, two. That doesn't seem right. 6, 7 then. Oh, what am I doing? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's see. Draw a swing trail. It's not just going to be sea white. What was it? Weapon color swing trail. Okay. So I'm gonna delete these two real quick because I have something completely new to test. Okay. Actually, hold on. So, here's what a twin blade might look like. Small. There we go. That's what I called it, right? Mask. And that's all it is. Okay. So, obviously I'm calling it a twin blade, which means I want to be able to swing two at once. AKA, it's a two-handed weapon. However, I believe the way this is built currently does not allow for this. Which, it's probably going to be obvious why here in a moment. Actually, now that I think about it. There we go. Oh, I just realized I'm out of iced tea. So the reason we won't be able to properly do twin blades at the beginning is simply because we're not able to have two weapons at once. So I'm planning on making it so that depending on the attack, we can choose whether or not it destroys the current weapon. But first, we need those attacks ready. So, this doesn't necessarily mean that twin blades would always do this, but so if you're okay, so how to explain this? If you're swinging around two daggers, you might go right. You might start swinging the right arm and go all the way through, and now you're in the recovery for this arm. And then as you're recovering, you start to swing the other. And, you know, you're doing this sort of back and forth, which technically you don't need two blades to do. It takes the same amount of time to do with one blade, and thus you can use your extra hand for a shield. The only useful thing for twin blades, or for two weapons, would be, say, if because they're slow, or because they're small, you might be able to get in quicker hits, right? Or you can use both of them at once, in, like, literally, you're swinging them both at once. Now, in the real world, this isn't so useful, because, you know, when you're putting your weight into a swing with, like, a short sword or something, you're ideally turning your body, throwing it into it. If you're doing that with two blades, you're losing some power on both of them. Now, that doesn't mean that they couldn't connect and hurt someone really badly, but it's just not going to be as strong. So, but in a video game, we can ignore that. We can say we're attacking with them both at once, and thus, if we are lucky enough to hit with both of them at once, we're going to be doing double damage. So, in order to do this, let's make this test attack something interesting. Like, in Bloodborne, if you get... Oh, what are they called? Eileen the Crow carries them. Eileen the Crow. Blade of Mercy is what she has. Also, Google Images brought up Eileen the Crow cosplay, which, my goodness I want to see. This is actually pretty good. Look at this. For how low quality the photo is. She's got the threaded cane and everything. Anyhow, I'm getting distracted. So, we're going to call this Twin Strike, because why not? Or Twin Strike Right. So let's see here. We're going to be starting with the blades. Not very far, so it's going to start at 45, okay? I think so, at least. Yeah. So remember, 0 is facing east, or I should say 0 is facing to the right, 90 is up, 180 is left, 270 is down. If we're facing to the right, then that means that this blade is going to be starting slightly like at an angle. Actually, let's do 30 to 45 in 4 steps, so it's going to be pretty quick. The weapon angle is going to go from 0. No, it's going to stay at 0, actually. The weapon distance, we'll say, is 5 the entire time. Actually, no, 4, so it's kind of hugging slightly closer. Is the character moving? No. Disallow aiming? No, we're allowing aiming. Okay. Disallow turning? False. Disallow moving? True. Disallow dodging? True. Disallow attacking? True. Disallow SP regen? True. Here. Okay, damaging, false. 1. Sprite is going to be SPR, melee, Twinblade. Subimage is going to be 0. Weapon speed, 0. Weapon mask, nothing. No effect, no trail, nothing. Okay. Then we're going to have the attack. Let's say for now it's the same speed as the wind-up, because whatever. We're not worrying about that too much right now. Then we're going to be going from this 45 all the way to -90. So imagine as if your arms are crossed, and then they're pulling out apart in sort of a blade scissor motion, and then your arms are swinging all the way out until they're fully extended as if you're in a T-pose. Now the weapon is going to go from 0 to, I would say, like 80. Then the weapons come out. This character moving. Direction will be 0. Amount will be like... Actually, let's make this interesting. Let's make it a full space. And then facing... Disallow aiming, true. Disallow turning, true. We're disallowing everything. Is it damaging? Yes! Still that twin blade, still the same subimage. The mask, however, is gonna be SPR melee twin blade mask. Will it have a swing trail? It will. Let's see. Third argument. Are we saving the swing trail? Yeah, we are. See white, sure. Let's see, 12-7. So that means it would be 11 minus 1. And then clear swing trail, false. Okay. And of course, to end this, we have this. We have, let's say, so let's see. The weapon will come out to 0. Distance will remain, will come in just a little bit. Character's not moving. We're not damaging. This can go back to -1. Swing trail. Let's borrow this one. There we go. Actually, now that I think about it, there. Okay. I think we're good. let's give this a test. So for now, this one attack is just going to be the one attack that we have, or it's only going to be one blade for just a moment. Okay. What did we just get? Draw line color, incorrect argument, type expecting a number. Argument 6, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I spell it wrong? Weapon, color, swing trail, swing trail. It looks the same. Mess it up, did I? See, white, looks like it should be correct. I'm legitimately confused. What's wrong here? It is weapon color swing trail. Oh, I know what's wrong. I'm stupid. I think it's this tag state. Yeah, attack state. Okay. I forgot that it is, in fact, an array. I'm surprised that's not what it said, that this is an array or something along those lines. Huh. That looked okay. Could be better though. Let's say it only goes to like 20. Should be a bit more impactful. Okay. Now we're gonna do this. For most of these things, we're gonna be switching them. Let's see. Okay, we switched those, and then we need to switch the sprite, weapon subimage, masked subimage should remain. Okay. Now I'm pretty sure this will work. Look at that. Kinda difficult to read though. Oh, hold on. Did I leave those damaging? I did not. Okay. Trying to only hit one. That's hitting one. That's hitting two. Yeah, it looks like we managed to do more damage to this guy. Oh, we forgot to let ourselves dodge out of that. Let's see. Allow attacking, or disallow dodging. False, and then for twin strike, right. Okay. Okay. So. We got that, which is fine. But that's obviously not the end of the story. The reason we're able to do this is because we're creating two swords at once, and this is not creating a conflict. However, what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to have it look like we're holding two weapons. So, figuring out how exactly to do two weapons properly, though. So the problem here is that we only built the animation system to support one object at a time. So you know what? Actually, thinking about this, so I apologize for my silence, by the way. So thinking about it more, I'm realizing that this might not be as big of a problem as I thought it was. So let's think of it this way. Just now, I created an animation that layered two animations. Two different blades crossing. An animation is not necessarily required to make any sort of big movements. Now, that sounds fine and dandy, but what this then means is that we're creating two different weapons, and so I'm pressing the attack button, right? Now imagine I have one, so it then creates two blades, one for the right hand, one for the left hand. Now, the right hand, now they're both going to do their own separate animations, okay? For the right hand, this will be a grand sweep across the front. But with the left hand, it's not going to move, or barely going to move, I should say, as the right hand sweeps across. Okay? So this then means that when I press the button again, I'm going to have it so that both of these animations, both the grand sweeping one and the one that's just sitting at the side, both have their own separate attacks at the end. What these both will be part 2, one for the right hand, one for the left hand. I press the button. Right hand comes back in close to the body, as it's recovering, while the left hand sweeps out for its attack. And both of these animations are going to be timed and have all the same parameters to ensure that they stay in sync. And I think that will work. I'm not totally sure, but I think it will. Oh, shit. I got a text a while ago. Okay. So in order to animate these, it means it'll be double the work, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. But let's make sure that this actually works. So let's call this one here. Create group Twinblade. Get in there. We'll call you Twinblade 1 start left. Right. Left, right, left. So to be safe, and I guess to be quick, let's say this is the right hand. It's going to start at -90. Okay? Here. Wait a moment. Oh. For a brief moment I thought I was listening to Planisphere by Justice, and I'm thinking, but they don't have it on Spotify. Which is depressing, because it's a lovely song. Anyhow. So this one will start at 90. Angle will be -90. This one's going to pull back a bit, while this one is just going to stay in place the entire time. Okay. This one will be at 90. And it'll stay at 90 actually. Weapon distance will be at 4. Character moving, no. Disallow aiming, false. None of them are damaging. The sprite, however, is going to be SPR, melee, Twinblade for both. Okay, then the subimage is going to be one for the left and 0 for the right. Nah, it's going to be the other way. Okay. So I'm gonna put this at like 20. So the wind up for this will be 5. No, it'll be 3. It'll be quick. Actually, why did I create that then? Okay. The attack will be relatively quick. It's going to go from -120 to 0 to 0, so it's going to be going into a full stab. Going to be coming out. Character moving. Yes, they're going to moving by half a unit. Disallow aiming, true. Disallow turning, true. I'm going to put these all to false for this one, because this is the one that's going to be just sitting there. So it's not going to have any real effect. Now all we gotta do after those go there, it's gonna go back to the start. Let's see, so far we've only taken 8 seconds, so 22, not 8 seconds, 8 steps, so 22 plus 8 is going to be 30. Actually, no, it's only going to be 12, since it's going to be much quicker. Okay. No more moving. Disallow aiming true, disallow turning true. Oh, this one's supposed to be damaging. Wait, or is it? Yeah, it's supposed to be damaging. Also supposed to have SPR, melee, twin blade mask. Let's ignore the swing trail for now because we don't really care. So I think that's it. Slide dodging, false. For now, we're just going to do this. Okay, let's see how this looks. Nope. Of course. Nope. There we go. Let's see how this looks. Doesn't look very good. Moving these out. One more time. Looks really, really simple. That's pretty much the point. What did I even do here? Right. Left. I clearly wasn't thinking. Okay. Hold on, let's try to fix the twin strikes real quick, because I must have mucked them up bad. There we go. Okay. Let's see how this looks now. Oh, that was putting me right into the line of fire. Okay. So, next up, we're going to be doing something else. We're going to be doing another attack. Here we go. So SCR, attack, Twinblade, 2, combo, right, left. There we go. It's pretty much going to tell us where we need to be. And I got the semicolons on those. Okay. First off, for this guy, where is he supposed to be? He's supposed to be in the same place the whole time. Good to know. Hold this distance doesn't really change. It's false, false, true, true, true. Okay. Let's put the direction end at 90. No, negative 90. Angle ends at 90. Weapon distance is 6. We put all U to false. Okay. So let's see. This all looks correct. What am I listening to? Oh, never mind. Okay. So this is supposed to be 3 steps. This is supposed to be 5 steps. From 120 to 0. From negative 90 to 0. From 6 to 8. From 0 to 8. And true for everything. It's also damaging. Okay. Then is it true here? Yes. Oh, I totally forgot to set the sprite. There we go. No swing trail whatsoever. While I remember, I'm gonna do this. There we go. Okay. So it goes from 0 to 90, from 0 to negative 90, right to 6. Subimage is 0. Okay. So let's try comboing. Here. Let's combo this into this. Okay, these are the times for which the attack is made different, as well as what attacks would be comboed into. If it's less than the combo time, it does not. It does that attack next in the combo. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're gonna be doing this one. We're allowed to exit part 2 early. Let's see. The button input type says what type of input is needed. 0 is pressed, 1 is released. Yep, it's just going to be pressed if we should do an attack at the end of the animation, whether or not there's any input at all. True if there is an input, false if there is not. So wait, what? If we should do an attack at the end of the animation. Okay, yeah, so false is correct, then allowing or disallowing attacks based on direction. False, false, false. Okay. Going to be pretty much the same except for left. And allowed to exit part 2 early. And I believe this is it. Okay, let's see if this all works. That didn't look right at all. Okay, what did I do wrong? Let's see, 3, 5, 12. So 3 plus 5 is 18, plus here is 8, plus 12 is 20. What went wrong here? That's super weird to me. What the hell is going on? Well, that's not correct at all. Okay. Let's do this. So let's see, 3, 5. So false, false, true, 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 true. It should still be in sync, but true, 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 true. Let's see. True, true, true. False, false, true. True, true, false, false, true. Okay. What the fuck? Oh, 3, 5, 12. There we go. That is not correct at all. What the heck? Okay, SCR attack Twinblade 2 combo left. SCR attack Twinblade 2 combo right and left. Okay. So it was first right that damaged. Now it's just sitting there doing nothing, and left is the one doing damage, right? Maybe I'm forgetting how this stuff even works. Subsequent attacks. Okay. It doesn't even care about no attacking. Okay. Jeez, I am... Slow attacking. True. True. Disallowing attacking. Gotta get this right. Okay, so it goes 3, 5, 12. 3, 5, 12. It's false, false, true, 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 true. All of them are true. I'm hoping that just aligning all these better will help, although I'm not honestly that sure. So true, 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 false, false, true, true. True, true, true. True, 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 false, true, true. I feel like I must have messed that one up on the last one. Hold on. So that's everything. Okay. No, I did get it right. Who knows? Anyhow. Nope. Just realized. Disallow attacking, true and true. Okay. fight at all. So it should take 5 hits to kill this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, that might be part of it. Forgot to remove the fluidity thing. Let's see how this looks. Look at that. For the sake of making this look just a bit better, gonna do this. Combo. Should probably fix this in the template. Okay. We got that. One and then right. Okay. Now they should be able to slide right into each other. Look at that. Okay. It's all working, but there is something I thought I was missing just now. That's right. Okay, so something I didn't quite realize. Look at this. So now watch both the player and the controller. So I'm hitting the button to do the attack. If I time it, we get that. If I hammer it, I don't get to attack. Now, it sounds fine, but not quite what we want. I'd like to make it so that you can hammer the button, or at least I'd like to try to make it so that you can hammer the button to do it as quick as possible. So, subsequent attacks. If button input type equals 0, the button pressed and stop combo timer. What is stop combo timer? Attack state equal. Oh my goodness. How did this work? Okay, for the sake of testing, let's do this. It says the part that we're allowed to exit early. What if I turned it into 0? What would happen then? Okay. That just looks funny. But not quite what we wanted. Although it might be kind of fun if we let the player screw with it like that. Like, seriously, what if the player could just awkwardly flail? They'd be able to skip a lot of animations and get right to the good part of a lot of the combos that they wanted. Did I do that right? Yeah. Goodness, I confused myself so easily. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's funny. Anyhow, we've been going for about 2 hours now, and I think that's an issue that I'll fix next time. In any case, thank you very much for watching. Oh, let me give you the rundown of what we did. We made it so that we can attack with 2 weapons at once. We also made it so that we could color the string trail as we wanted to. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. It's like a little dance right there.